An explanation of the 4 frames of reference, which are for those who put them into practice, a means for freedom from defilement. Kayanupassana Satipatthana, being mindful of the body as a frame of reference. Vedana-nupassana Satipatthana, being mindful of feelings as a frame of reference. Citta-nupassana Satipatthana, being mindful of the mind as a frame of reference. Dhamma-nupassana Satipatthana, being mindful of mental qualities as a frame of reference. To use these 4 frames of reference as a means for centering the mind, you must first familiarize yourself with the following 3 qualities. Otherwise, you can't say that you are standing firm on your frame of reference. The truth of the matter is that the translations given above are too narrow, for in dealing with the frames of reference, mere mindfulness isn't enough. When it's not enough, and yet you keep being mindful of the body, you will give rise only to feelings of pleasure and displeasure. Because the duty of mindfulness is simply to keep remembering or referring to an object. So in developing the frames of reference, you have to know your tools for remembering. Sati, mindfulness, powers of reference. Sampajanya, alertness. This has to be firmly in place at the mind before sending mindfulness out to refer to its object, such as the body, and then bringing it back inwards to refer to the heart. Ardency, focused investigation, analyzing the object into its various aspects. This can be illustrated as follows. The body is like a sawmill. The mind is like a drive shaft. Alertness is the pulley that spins around the drive shaft in one spot. Mindfulness is the belt that ties the mind to its object, not letting it slip away to other objects. Ardency, focused investigation, is the saw blade that keeps cutting the logs into pieces so that they can be of use. These 3 qualities must always be present for your practice of centering the mind to succeed. Now we will discuss the work to be done, the objects for which focused investigation, alertness, and mindfulness are responsible, each its separate way. The objects are 4. The body, kaya, which is a conglomeration of the 4 properties of earth, water, fire, and wind. Feelings, vedana, the experiencing of such sensations as pleasure, pain, and neither pleasure nor pain. The mind, citta, which is what stores up the various forms of good and evil. Mental qualities, dhamma, conditions maintained within you such as the skillful and unskillful qualities that occur mixed together in the mind. These are the 4 things for which you must be responsible. The term body here refers to conglomerations of the 4 properties, both those that have consciousness directing them and those that no longer do, but that still appear to the eye. Both sorts are termed physical properties, rupa kaya. Bodies can be considered under 3 aspects: the inner body, your own body; outer bodies, the bodies of other people. The body, in and of itself, the act of focusing on an aspect or part of the body, such as the breath, which is an aspect of one of the 4 properties. This is what is meant by the body in and of itself. The body, whether inner or outer, is simply a matter of the 4 properties. Now that you know your duties, you have to perform them properly. Sampajanya, keep your alertness in place right at the mind within. You don't have to direct it anywhere else. Sati, your mindfulness has to be all around. In other words, refer inwardly to the mind and then out to the object, in this case, the physical body. Then watch after the mind and its object to make sure that they don't slip away from each other. Atapa, focus ardently on investigating the physical body, analyzing it into its various aspects. This can be done in any of 5 ways. Investigate the 32 parts of the body, beginning with the hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, skin, etc. Make a thorough survey and evaluation. If this method doesn't calm the mind, go on to investigate the various repugnant aspects of the body, beginning with the fact that the body is a conglomeration of all sorts of things. In other words, it's a burial ground, a national cemetery, filled with the corpses of cattle, pigs, ducks, chickens, sour, sweet, greasy, salty, gathered and aged in the stomach, filtered and distilled into blood, pus, decomposing and putrid, oozing throughout the body and coming out of its various openings. This body, which all of us in the human race care for without ceasing, bathing it, scrubbing it, masking its smell, and even then its filth keeps displaying itself as earwax, eye secretions, nasal drip, tooth tartar, skin scruff, and sweat, always oozing out, filthy in every way. What it comes from is filthy. Where it stays is filthy, i.e., in a cemetery of fresh corpses, or even worse, we've probably buried hundreds of different kinds of corpses within ourselves. If you look at the human body, you'll see that its characteristics are ill-matched and incongruous. Its smell is really something offensive. If looking at the body in this way doesn't give rise to a sense of dismay and detachment, go on to investigate the in and out breath. When the breath comes in long, be aware of that fact. When it goes out long, be aware of it. When you first begin dealing with the breath, start out by sending your attention out with the out breath and in with the in breath. Do this 2 or 3 times and then let your attention settle in the middle without letting it follow the breath in or out until the mind becomes still, paying attention only to the in and out breath. Make the mind open, relaxed, and at ease. You can settle your awareness at the tip of the nose, at the palate. If you can keep it centered in the middle of the chest, so much the better. Keep the mind still, and it will be at ease. Discernment will arise. An inner light will appear, reducing distractive thought. Now observe the behavior of the breath as it swells and contracts, in long and out long, in short and out short, in short and out long, in long and out short, in heavy and out light, in light and out heavy, in light and out light. Focus on making a thorough investigation into these different modes of breathing without letting the mind move along with the breath. Do this until it gives rise to a sense of mental calm. If, however, this method doesn't make you calm, go on to investigate the 4 properties: earth, water, wind, and fire. The parts of the body that feel hard are the earth property. The parts that feel liquid are the water property. The energy that flows throughout the body is the wind property, and the warmth in the body, the fire property. Imagine that you can take the earth property out and pile it in a heap in front of you, that you can take the water property out and pile it behind you, that you can pile the wind property in a heap to your left and the fire property in a heap to your right. Place yourself in the middle and take a good look at the body until you see that when taking it apart in this way, it vanishes into nothing, into ashes, what they call death, and you will come to feel a sense of dismay and detachment. If, however, you don't see any results appearing, go on to consider the fact that the body, once it's born, leaves you exposed on all sides to the steady onslaughts of old age, illness, and death. Ultimately, you are sure to be torn away from everything in the world. The body is always displaying its nature, anicca, It's inconstant, unstable, always shifting precariously about. Dukkha, it's hard to endure. Anatta, it's not you, yours, or anyone else's. You didn't bring it with you when you came, and you can't take it with you when you go. When you die, you'll have to throw it away like an old log or piece of kindling. There's nothing of any substance or worth to it at all. When you consider things in this way, you'll come to feel a sense of dismay and detachment that will make the mind steady, still, and firmly centered in concentration. These 5 activities are the duties of your focused investigation, fighting to see the true nature of the physical body. As for mindfulness, it has to follow its own duties, referring to the object under investigation and at the same time referring to the mind within. Don't make reference to anything else. Keep check on whether or not you have your mind on what you're doing. This is alertness. Keep track of your mind, observing it at all times to see in what ways it might be acting or reacting on you. Keep your alertness always in place, right at the heart. All the activities mentioned here are aspects of taking the body as a frame of reference. Whether you are dealing with the inner body, with outer bodies, or with the body in and of itself, you have to use the 3 qualities mentioned above. Only when you have them fully developed can you say that you are developing the great frame of reference, Maha Satipatthana. Normally, mindfulness is a quality that we all have, but when it lacks alertness, it falls into wrong ways, becoming wrong mindfulness. But when you can follow the methods outlined above, you are sure to develop a disinterested steadiness of mind. You will come to feel a sense of dismay and detachment that will make the mind quiet, calm, and unperturbed. This is the ladder of liberating insight, Vipassana Jnana, leading to Nibbana, which people of wisdom and experience have guaranteed. Nibbanan paranang sukhang. Nibbana is the ultimate ease. This ends the discussion of keeping the body in mind as a frame of reference.